everyone, my name is Fonseca, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the lack of pilots in the United States Air Force, and this is my audience. Alrighty, so currently, right now, the United States Air Force is facing somewhat of a crisis, a lack of pilots that are in active duty. Now, this is mainly because pilots are not really happy with their lives right now. The morale is low. A lot of these pilots are being recruited by private companies such as airlines. Drone pilots especially are being recruited by private companies as the drone industry is increasing, which increases the demand of trained drone pilots. And the best trained drone pilots come from the Air Force. According to Captain David L. Golfin, in quotes, he says, high readiness equals high morale. So by this he means that because of the amount of pilots that are there right now, not all of them are on active duty, which means not all of them are basically to say excited about what they're doing. A lot of them are bored. They feel like they're not being used to their full potential, which is another reason why a lot of them are inclined to leave at the end of their duty. And the numbers show a lot to more of how this is a crisis more than the actual words do. So as we move on, right now there's a shortage of about 700 pilot slots, mainly fighter pilots. And this shortage is predicted to increase to about 2,000 empty slots by the year 2020. Now, this may not seem like a lot, but it really is. According to Colonel Farley, and in quotes, he says, in quotes in an email that was sent throughout the Department of Defense, so an internal email, he quotes, "Again, I understand that it is a non-standard and not accomplishable within assumptions. However, this is a crisis." So throughout this email, he's explaining to everyone else that how much of a crisis this is, that the lack of the pilots that is in the foreseeable future is going to cause for the United States not to be able to have air superiority in certain circumstances and not be able to carry out its mission and be able to successfully defend the country. Yet, he also expresses how he feels about the future. He feels like the issue will be solved. As he quotes, Colonel Farley said, "We are going to save our 11F community," 11F being the fighter pilots. So Air Force senior officers and the Department of Defense, they have plans inset to recover pilots, to retain more pilots. Now this goes from increasing wages to giving pilots who are nearing the end of their active service, giving them a $35,000 retention bonus, giving them more incentives to stay within the force. This can range from they also plan on opening up more slots to academy recruits, ROTC graduates, and officer training school graduates. Now, like I said, the main goal is to keep pilots within the Air Force, and so this will mean keeping pilots out on active duty, keeping them on shorter deployments, because the longer the deployments get, the more unhappier pilots become. They're away from their families, their homes, and that just brings them down to a lower morale. So according to the Department of Defense, although this current shortage does not directly affect U.S. operations in the Middle East, such as ongoing battles and whatnot, in the future it will hinder the United States' ability to maintain air superiority, to be able to basically attack threats to our nation. So if the plan is to carry out, the United States should be looking fine, and this crisis should be averted. Thank you very much.